start with our new unit. So second chapter, equilibrium. Okay. So we will start the second unit now, equilibrium of rigid body. So now first of all, I will tell you the syllabus, what we are going to see in this. So are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So now in this unit here, you can see first is the equilibrium of coplanar forces. We are going to see what is the meaning of this equilibrium. What is the meaning of this equilibrium? Then analytical and graphical conditions of equilibrium. So there are three equations of equilibrium. What are those equations that we are going to see? What are the equations of equilibrium? Okay. Then what is free body diagram that we will see. Then Lami's theorem and different types of supports. Which are the different types of supports? Totally now basically four types of supports are there. Simple support, hinge support, roller support and fixed support. Four types of supports are there. Simple support, hinge support, roller support and fixed support. So these supports offers different reactions. So that we will cover. This part is the much more theoretical part, and after covering this part we will move to the numericals based on this. After this, friction is there, types of friction, limiting friction, laws of friction, static and dynamic friction, inclined plane, ladders, numericals on inclined plane and ladders that we are going to solve. Then support reactions of statically determinate beams. So here we are studying different types of supports, and these types of supports are provided to the beams. We are going to see what are the meaning of beams and how to determine the different reactions of a beam, that we are going to see over here. Okay, so beams are with the point loads, then inclined loads, uniformly distributed loads, uniformly varying loads and couples. So this we are going to see, and we are going to see the numericals, how to solve it based on this. Just 1 minute. Uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load and couple. So for this we are going to analyze the beam, we are going to find out the support reactions of the beam. Okay, and then last is the principle of virtual work concept only. So this it will not ask in the examination. Okay, it will not ask for the examination. Virtual work. So 2.1 and 2.2 it is required. So that we will see in detail in this chapter. So here now we will start. It's open झालं का? Just a minute. So our next unit, it is second unit, equilibrium of rigid bodies. So equilibrium of rigid bodies. Okay. Recording start केले का? Okay. Equilibrium of rigid bodies. So now in this unit, what we are going to see first of all we are going to see what is the meaning of equilibrium. What is the meaning of equilibrium? Okay. Now up till now we have seen that when a number of forces are acting on a body, we can calculate the resultant of those number of forces. Okay, we can easily calculate the resultant of those number of forces. How do we calculate the resultant of number of forces? Our formula is R is equal to under root summation fx square plus summation fy square. So this is our formula to calculate the resultant. So now equilibrium means what? It is the condition when the resultant force acting on a body is zero. Okay, when the number of forces are acting on the body, and if the resultant of the given force system is 0, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. Okay, when a number of forces are acting on the body and the resultant force, okay, of those number of forces is 0, then that body is said to be in equilibrium. So if I give you simple example, very simple example, suppose now this box is there, this box, and suppose now it is in air. Imagine that this box is in air. Okay, so here if the forces are acting on this block, suppose now from this direction one force is acting, and exactly in opposite direction another force is acting, like this. Again one more force is acting towards right hand side, and exactly in opposite direction one more force is acting towards left hand side. And now if I give the magnitude, suppose now this force is 5 kilonewton, this is 10 kilonewton, this is again 5 kilonewton, and this is again 10 kilonewton. Okay, now if I ask you the simple question, you know this is the box which is acting by some forces, number of forces are acting on this block. So if I tell you to find out the resultant of this force system, so what will be your answer? What is the resultant?
0.
0. Why it is 0 and how it is 0? 0 कसं काढलं तुम्ही? What you have done? What you have done indirectly? First of all, you have calculated summation fx. So if you see summation fx is plus 10 minus 10, which is equal to 0. Then you have calculated summation fy. Summation fy is this force is moving upward, so this is plus. This force is moving downward, so minus, which is 0. So when your summation fx 0 and summation fy is 0, then your resultant is also 0. And you told me the answer, resultant is 0. So when this condition comes, when your resultant is 0, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. This condition when satisfies, when the resultant force acting on the body is 0, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now think logically. Whenever I am saying that a body is in equilibrium, the meaning of that is the resultant force acting on the body is 0. First thing. Okay. Now you know that R is equal to under root summation fx square plus summation fy square. This is the formula which I have already written over here. So when R is 0, then what will be the value of summation fx and summation fy? Are you getting my question?
Yes, sir.
If not, then just wait. We will move to the next page so that I will explain it to you. See, our formula is R is equal to under root summation fx square plus summation fy square. Okay, this is our formula. This we have seen in the previous chapter. By using this formula, we have solved number of problems. Now what I want to ask you, when I pronounce the word equilibrium, when I said to you equilibrium, equilibrium means what? Equilibrium means your resultant force is 0. The meaning of equilibrium is the condition is resultant force must be 0. मग आता जर एखादी बॉडी ही जर इक्विलिब्रियम मध्ये आहे तर त्याच्यावरचा रिझल्टंट फोर्स किती असणार आहे? 0 असणार आहे. ओके, मग म्हणजेच R 0 असायला पाहिजे ना. मग जर या R ला मला 0 करायचं असेल, ही माझी आता LHS आहे बघा, इथेच लिहित नाही मी, खालच्या वेळेला लिहितो सो दॅट यू विल नॉट गेट कन्फ्युज. सी माय LHS लेफ्ट हँड साइड इज इक्वल टू R. कन्सिडर दिस इक्वेशन. ही असायला किती असायला पाहिजे? 0. कधी 0 असायला पाहिजे? व्हेन सिस्टम इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम. Okay, when system is in equilibrium. Now my right hand side is under root summation fx square plus summation fy square. LHS equal to RHS नेहमी यायला पाहिजे ना. Under root summation fx square plus summation fy square. हे माझं काय आहे? RHS. This is my right hand side of the equation. Okay. So ही पण 0 यायला पाहिजे का नाही? जर तुमची लेफ्ट हँड साइड 0 असेल तर राइट हँड साइड पण किती असायला पाहिजे? 0. Then and then only you say that this is the equation. You can give the equal to sign. Okay, 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard maths, simple mathematics I am telling about. So हे जर मला रिझल्टंट 0 इथं आन्सर यायचा असेल तर मी तुम्हाला प्रश्न काय विचारला, माझी एफ ची व्हॅल्यू किती असायला पाहिजे आणि एफ ची व्हॅल्यू किती असायला पाहिजे. मला अल्टिमेट आन्सर 0 मिळाला पाहिजे. ज्या वेळेला मी हे पूर्ण ब्रॅकेट सॉल्व्ह करेन का नाही, एफ एक्स स्क्वेअर देन एफ वाय स्क्वेअर, मग त्यांची ऍडिशन, त्यानंतर त्यांचं स्क्वेअर रूट जर मी कॅल्क्युलेट केलं तर मला फायनल आन्सर 0 मिळायला पाहिजे, कारण माझी बॉडी इक्विलिब्रियम मध्ये माझा रिझल्टंट फोर्स 0 आहे. तर मग त्यासाठी एफ एक्स आणि एफ वाय ची व्हॅल्यू काय असेल, हा माझा प्रश्न आहे.
0.
0. 0.
0. The value of fx must be 0 and fy must be 0. Then and then only you will get this value as 0. 0 square plus 0 square म्हणजे 0 plus 0 0 under root of 0 you will get 0. आपण ट्राय करून बघूया येतंय का नाही. ओके, we will take simple example. See, we will take one number as 0, one number -1, one number +1. We will try these iterations. Okay, समजा आता समेशन fx -1 घ्या आणि समेशन fy जे आहे ते पण -1 घ्या. काय आन्सर मिळेल तुम्हाला? इफ आय पुट -1 फॉर बोथ समेशन fx अँड समेशन fy, इफ आय पुट दिस फर्स्ट व्हॅल्यू ओव्हर हिअर अँड तीनच नंबर आहेत ना इंटिजर मध्ये, पूर्ण ह्याच्यामध्ये. पहिला 0, एक तर 0च्या आधी सगळे मायनस मध्ये, 0च्या नंतर सगळे प्लस मध्ये. आपण तिन्ही ट्राय करून बघू कधी आपल्याला आन्सर 0 मिळतं. सो इफ आय पुट -1 ओव्हर हिअर देन इट इज -1 स्क्वेअर प्लस -1 स्क्वेअर. So -1 square is +1, -1 square is +1, 1 + 1 2. So it will be under root 2, not equal to 0. So this option, it is cancelled. This is not correct option. Then we will keep +1 now. म्हणजे मायनस नंबर जर तुम्ही कुठला जरी मायनस नंबर ठेवला तरी त्याचा काहीही उपयोग नाही, कारण शेवटी त्याचा स्क्वेअर आहे, त्याच्यामुळे ते पॉझिटिव्हच येणार आहे. ओके, नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दॅट नाउ इफ आय पुट +1 ओव्हर हिअर जस्ट फॉर आवर कन्फर्मेशन की खरंच तसं येतंय का. If I put +1 over here, both the values +1. So 1 square 1, 1 square 1, 1 + 1 2, 2. Again our answer is under root 2. So again it is not 0. Are you getting my point? You can keep two different values also. तुम्हाला किती इटरेशन्स घ्यायचे ते असे घ्या की कुठल्या व्हॅल्यूला नेमकं 0 येते. कुठलेही घ्या, एक पॉझिटिव्ह घ्या, एक निगेटिव्ह घ्या, कसंही करून बघा, तुम्हाला हे इक्वेशन 0 मिळणारच नाही. तुम्हाला फक्त एका कंडिशनला हे इक्वेशन 0 मिळेल, when your summation fx is also 0 and summation fy is also 0, then and then only your resultant is 0. Otherwise your resultant will not be 0. When your resultant is 0, when your summation fx is 0 and summation fy is 0, then and then only your resultant is 0. Otherwise your resultant will not become 0. जर समजा fx आणि fy मधलं एक जरी 0 नसेल तर तुमचा रिझल्टंट 0 होणार नाही, त्या रिझल्टंटला सर्टन व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला मिळेलच. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट व्हॉट आय वॉन्ट टू टेल यू?
Yes, sir.
ओके, सो व्हेन आय से दिस इक्विलिब्रियम, सो इक्विलिब्रियमचा अर्थ काय? रिझल्टंट आर इज इक्वल टू 0. बट व्हेन आय से रिझल्टंट इज 0, दॅट इज मीन्स व्हॉट? आय एम इनडायरेक्टली सेइंग दॅट समेशन fx is 0 and summation fy is 0. This is indirectly I am saying that when r is 0, then it implicates me or it reflects that summation fx is equal to also 0 and summation fy is equal to also 0. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so now any doubt in this equilibrium and how summation fx and fy is 0? Anybody is having any doubt in this?
No.
No, sir.
Okay, so now we will write down the definition and we will see the further part. So first of all, write down this with me. I will write here equilibrium. Equilibrium. So the definition of equilibrium is when number of forces, when number of forces are acting on the body, are acting on the body, are acting on the body, comma, if the resultant of who is this roll number 58? Mute kara mic. If the resultant of given force system is zero, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. I hope now it is clear with you. Okay, so when the number of forces are acting on the body, if the resultant of the given force system, that is whatever the number of forces are acting, their resultant is zero, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. So this is the meaning of equilibrium. So don't forget now from here onwards what is the meaning of equilibrium. Next is analytical conditions of equilibrium. Analytical conditions of equilibrium. So what are the analytical conditions? Whatever we have seen just now, those are the analytical conditions. That when you say that body is in equilibrium means what? Resultant force is zero. So the analytical conditions are, there are three analytical conditions. That is summation fx equal to 0. That is sum of all the forces parallel to x-axis is equal to 0. Second is summation fy is equal to 0. It is sum of all the forces parallel to y-axis. It is also 0. And third condition is moment about any point is equal to 0. Moment about any point in the plane is equal to 0. So these are the three analytical conditions of equilibrium. These are also called as equations of equilibrium. So म्हणून तुम्हाला आठवतंय का, if you remember in the last chapter when we are solving the problem, sometimes we have taken summation m is equal to 0. At that point, what was the condition? The resultant is passing through that point. That was the condition. Okay, that was the condition. That is why we have taken summation m is equal to 0 in previous chapter. Now here in this chapter, why we are taking summation m is equal to 0? Because it is the one of the equation of equilibrium. It is one of the equation of equilibrium. And what is equilibrium? Equilibrium is when the resultant force acting on a body is 0. Then the body is said to be in equilibrium. Okay, so you should distinguish between these two. Don't try to connect the things like that. म्हणजे तिथेही घेतलं, मग तिथं कशामुळे घेतलं? तिथे तर equilibrium नव्हतंच की. Then why we take? Okay, whatever the conditions are given in the numerical, accordingly we have taken summation fx0 fy0 in previous chapter. But here in this chapter, we have to say that, or they will tell us that the body is in equilibrium. So automatically you have to take the equation like summation fx equal to 0, fy equal to 0, and m is equal to 0. So I will write each equation one by one. So the first equation is summation fx equal to 0. In some book it is given as summation h is equal to 0. So meaning is same. Summation fx equal to 0 means what? The algebraic sum of all the forces, parallel to the x-axis, must be equal to 0. Okay, so the algebraic sum of all the forces parallel to x-axis must be equal to 0. So the second condition of equilibrium now. The second condition, this is called as second equation of equilibrium. These are also called as equations of equilibrium.
सर फर्स्ट कंडिशन एकदा दाखवा.
हा ओके, जस्ट अ मोमेंट. येस, झाल्यावरती सांगा मला.
Yes sir.
Okay, so now we will move to the next condition, second condition. Second condition is summation fy is equal to 0. That is, the algebraic sum of all the forces parallel to the y-axis is 0. The algebraic sum of all the forces parallel to the y-axis is 0. And the third equation is summation m is equal to 0. Summation m is equal to 0. And I will write here the algebraic sum of the moments of all the forces about any point in their plane is 0. Okay. So these are the three equations of equilibrium. Are you getting my point? This is because resultant is 0. Everything is dependent. I will tell you once again. See, my formula is R is equal to under root summation fx square plus summation fy square. This is my one of the formula. And also my formula for movement is by Varignon's theorem, m is equal to r into d. This is my formula. But for equilibrium, what they say is equilibrium. For this word equilibrium, your resultant must be 0. R is 0. So if I want this R is 0, my summation fx must be 0 and my summation fy must be 0. Then and then only R will become 0. So these two are the two analytical conditions of equilibrium. And then when I put R is equal to 0 over here, then my summation m is also become 0. So this is my third condition. So this will become my first condition, this is second, and this is third condition. Okay, so these formulas we have already used in the previous chapter. Just in those formulas, if I put R is equal to 0, then I get the equations of equilibrium. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Okay, so now after these analytical conditions of equilibrium, we will move forward to the graphical conditions of equilibrium. Okay. So we will see the graphical conditions of equilibrium. Graphical conditions of equilibrium. So the graphical conditions of equilibrium are: number 1, force polygon must be closed. Okay, force polygon must be closed. Means that our polygon, hexagon, pentagon, whatever we draw, that polygon should be closed. Closed means, now suppose if I start with point A, then I go to point B. Suppose my first force is like this. Instead of this, now I will show it with the proper example so that you will understand this. Suppose now this is a surface, and now on this surface, suppose number of forces are acting. First force is acting in this direction, Second force is acting in this direction. Third is acting, let us say, in this direction. Three forces are acting. Suppose they are having certain angles, 30 degree, this is 40 degree, this is again 30 degree or somewhat, and they are having magnitude F1, F2, F3. And here we will take their angles as theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Okay. So their angles as, we will take it as theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3. Now see, usually if I tell you this is the force system and calculate the resultant, what you will do? You will see that F1, F2, F3, all the forces are inclined. So we need to resolve the inclined forces first. After the resolution of force, what we will do? We will calculate summation Fx. All the horizontal forces we will take in summation Fx. All the vertical forces we will take in summation Fy. We will use the formula of resultant. We will calculate R, we will calculate alpha. And then lastly, we will draw the diagram. That we will take one point, draw summation Fx, draw summation Fy, and diagonal is your resultant. That diagram we will draw at the last. And our problem ends. Okay. Now the same thing, if I want to calculate the resultant of this force system now, then by graphical method, what I will do, I will give here names. Suppose now the space, this space is A. The space between F1 and F2, I will name this as B. The space between F2 and F3, I will name this as C. And after F3, whatever the remaining space, I will name this as a D. Okay. Or there is no need to name it as a D. It will be, let it be that space. Okay. So now first force. My first force is, what is the first force? First force is this one, F1. Its name is now AB. Now we will calculate this. I will tell this F1 as AB. So I will arbitrarily choose any point on the drawing paper. I will choose arbitrarily any point on the drawing paper. And what I will do, I will see this F1 and this angle theta. Okay, so I will draw the line parallel to this. And I will set the scale. I will set the scale, that is 1 centimeter is equal to 5 Newton, 1 centimeter equal to 10 Newton. In that way, I will set the scale. Suppose now my scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 5 Newton. Okay, this is my scale. Whatever I have set for this graph, I have set one scale, and that scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 5 Newton. And suppose now this F1 is of 20 Newton. Suppose this F1 is of now 20 Newton. Then how much long line I should draw? I should draw a line of 4 centimeter. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
होतंय का सगळं वरनं चाललंय डोक्याच्या, कळत नसलं तर सांगा. I will write everything over there. Are you getting these points, whatever I am trying to tell you?
Yes.
I am trying to tell you what is the force polygon. And I am, by giving some example to you, I am trying to draw that polygon. Actually, it should be drawn on the graph paper with correct measurements. But for your understanding, I am drawing here. Are you able to connect it, or काय वरनं चाललंय सगळं समजत नाही असं काय व्हायला लागलंय?
No, sir.
No, sir.
समजतंय ना?
No.
Yes, sir. समजतंय.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will call this F1 as A and B. And suppose my F1 is 20 Newton and my scale is 1 centimeter equal to 5 Newton. So what I will do, I will set my drafter parallel to this, and from this point, and it is moving downward. So from this point, I will draw one line of 4 centimeter. One line of 4 centimeter, and I will name this as AB. These are called as Bow's notation. These are called as Bow's notation. AB. Then after that, from B to C, there is another force F2. Suppose now this F2 is of 10 kilonewton. This F2 is of 10 Newton. Imagine this. Here आहे समजा 20 and हे पण आहे समजा 20. So suppose now this F2 is 10 Newton. This angle is theta 2. Then what I will do, I will set my drafter parallel to this, and it is the force BC. So from point B, I will draw the next line. So from point B, it is 10 centimeter. My scale is 1 centimeter equal to 2 Newton. 1 centimeter equal to 5 Newton. So it will be 10 Newton means it is 2 centimeter. So from point B in this direction only, I will draw one line. This is my line of, this is which is parallel to this F2, and I will call this point as C. I will call this point as C. Okay. Here I will give the fourth name D. F3 साठी राहिलं ना now. So C to D. Now C to D, F3 force is there. C to D, F3 force is there. Then again I will from C, it is of 20 Newton. So from C, parallel to the F3, I will draw the line. Okay. And this is point D. This is point D. And if I join the first point and last point, if I join the first point and last point, these 2 points, and if I measure this in centimeter, if I get the answer as 4 centimeter, then I will multiply this 4 by my scale, that is 5 Newton. So I will get the resultant as 20 Newton. So this line will give me the resultant. And the direction of the resultant is opposite to the direction of the force. So it will be like this. This is the direction of the resultant. This will give me the resultant R. This line is called as closing line. This line is called as the closing line. So according to the graphical condition, this line should not be there. He झालं normally resultant काढताना. But when you say that your system is in equilibrium, हे जे तुमचं F3 आहे ना F3, हे इथं न जाता डायरेक्ट इथं क्लोज व्हायला पाहिजे पहिल्याच पॉइंटला, so that your resultant is 0. Are you getting my point? That is the meaning of force polygon must be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
हा, हे जे मी C to D लाईन दाखवली आहे ही F3 साठी दाखवली आहे, आणि मग हा शेवटचा पॉइंट आहे D, पहिला पॉइंट आहे A. जेव्हा मी A आणि D जॉईन करतोय तर मला काय मिळतंय? रिझल्टंट मिळतंय. ठीक आहे, रिझल्टंट मिळाला मला, ग्राफिकल मेथडनी मिळाला. पण ग्राफिकल कंडिशन काय इक्विलिब्रियमची? आपल्याला काय पाहिजे? ग्राफिकल कंडिशन पाहिजे इक्विलिब्रियमची. तर इक्विलिब्रियमची ग्राफिकल कंडिशन काय सांगते की ज्या वेळेला तुम्ही हे B to C ड्रॉ करता, आता ज्या वेळेला तुम्हाला C to D ड्रॉ करायचंय, तर तुमचा A पॉइंट म्हणजे पहिला पॉइंट आणि शेवटचा पॉइंट D हा एकच पॉइंट यायला पाहिजेत. समजलं का? सो त्याला म्हणायचं फोर्स पॉलिगॉन मस्ट बी क्लोज्ड. सो फोर्स पॉलिगॉन मस्ट बी क्लोज म्हणजे तुमचा CD असाच यायला पाहिजे. दिस इज युअर CD. And this indicates that your resultant is 0. This indicates that your resultant is 0 because your starting point and your end point is same. So that is why your resultant is 0. So this is called as force polygon must be closed. This is called as force polygon must be closed. Okay. समझला?
हो सर.
Second is funicular polygon. Funicular polygon must be closed. So the funicular polygon is also must be closed. So funicular polygon we used to draw in the case of concurrent forces. Okay, in the case of concurrent forces. Now suppose these types of concurrent forces are there. 1, 2. Suppose now these types of concurrent forces are there. Suppose now these are the concurrent forces, and I will take the value arbitrary for your understanding. 10 Newton, 20 Newton, 30 Newton, 40 Newton, and 50 Newton. And now I will give the names, that is the space between the forces. Suppose this is A, this is B, C, D, and E. Now I will draw the diagram. Whatever I have shown you here, similar diagram I will draw. Now I will erase this diagram first. And then the same diagram I will show it to you for what is the funicular polygon. Just now I have shown you the force polygon. Similarly, we will see the funicular polygon. So in this case now, suppose this is my one point O, where all the forces are meeting. This is the single point O, where all the forces are meeting. Okay. So in this case now, if I draw the funicular polygon, then the funicular polygon is the same thing. But in the case of this non-collinear forces, the polygon which we draw, it is called as force polygon. In the case of concurrent forces, the polygon which we draw, it is known as funicular polygon. So now it is A to B first force. So I will draw it. Suppose now from A to B, this is my first force. Suppose my scale is 1 centimeter equal to 5 Newton. 1 centimeter equal to 5 Newton. So I will draw a line of 2 centimeter and I will name this as AB. Next is BC, which is in this direction. So I will draw the BC. It is like this. BC. Okay. Then I will draw the CD. So CD is in this direction. So this is CD. CD. Then DE. D to E. D to E. Okay. And then E to A, 50 Newton. So here I will draw E to A 50 Newton. It is like this. It will not actually meet over here if the resultant exists. म्हणजे ही जर डायग्राम तुम्ही E to A आता इथं नेमिंग येते म्हणजे इथं जायला पाहिजे टेक्निकली, पण मेनी ऑफ द केसेस इट विल गो समवेअर हियर और इट विल गो समवेअर हियर. ओके, समजा इथपर्यंत झालं. So this new point, this I will call this as A dash. Then I will join these 2 points, first point and last point. I will measure this and then I will multiply it by the scale and that will be my resultant. That will be my resultant. So this type of diagram is the funicular polygon. We call this as a funicular polygon also. Okay. And the another case is, instead of this A dash, your point from E, it will directly meet at point A. So your resultant will become 0. Resultant will become 0. So it says that your funicular polygon is closed. This is the meaning of your funicular polygon is closed. Okay. So these are the two conditions. These are the two conditions of this equilibrium. Force polygon must be closed and funicular polygon must be closed. So the next point is free body diagram. Free body diagram. So usually you always draw this free body diagram, but you don't know it is called as a free body diagram. A diagram in which you show all the forces, all the reactions acting on the body. That diagram is nothing but your free body diagram. That diagram is nothing but your free body diagram in short. So we always draw the free diagram and we called it as only diagram, but it is actually free body diagram. So here I will write the definition, then we will see it in the detail. It is the free body diagram. So it is the diagram. It is the diagram in which all the forces and reactions, all the forces and reactions acting on the body, are shown okay. Also it is It is separated diagram. It is separated diagram from the surrounding. From the surrounding. Okay. So sometimes while resolving the force, in the last unit, sometimes while resolving the force, if all the components are coming at a single point, I show to you, I draw the separate diagram, and I will try to show you separately how the components will be there, how they are going to act. So that diagram is nothing but free body diagram. I am taking a part and I am showing its free body diagram. It's diagram only of that part. How many forces are acting over there? What is the reaction acting over there? And just only about that part. So that is called as free body diagram. It is called as the free body diagram. Okay. So in the free body diagram, the reactive forces, here I will write the reactive forces offered, the reactive forces offered are known as reactions. So very best example of the reaction is, now you are sitting at your home. Okay. Now if I tell you, put down your mobile keep your mobile on the table and run fast towards the wall and hit the wall, what will happen? तुम्हाला मी सांगितलं आता जावा तिथनं पळत आणि भिंतीला जाऊन धडका, काय होईल धडकल्यावर? What will happen? If you collide with a wall, cement concrete wall, what will happen?
We get hurt.
Okay, you will get hurt. You will get hurt. Okay. Now the second thing is that if I tell you that you have to hit the wall, okay, same way you have to hit the wall, but now the wall is made up from sponge and cotton and everything. Springs are there inside, so sponge is there, cotton is there, it is like a matrices. Okay, then what will happen if you hit that wall? Then what will happen?
We don't get hurt.
You will not get hurt. So what was happened in first case and what was happened in another case, if we analyze that, so the thing is that now you will understand the concept. See, in the first case, your material is the rigid material. Concrete is the rigid material. Okay. So when you hit the wall, whatever the force applied by you on the wall, whatever the force you are hitting the walls means you are applying some force on the wall. So whatever force you are applying on the wall, equal and opposite reaction you are getting from the wall. Equal and opposite reaction you are getting from the wall. Okay. So this is whatever you are getting in return, that is called as reactions. Is it clear now what is the meaning of reaction? That is called as reactions. You have also studied the Newton's third law. No? To every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Correct. So this is the reaction which you are getting from the wall. Now in the second case, what is happening? You are hitting the wall or colliding with the wall with the full force. But what is happening? From whatever force you are exerting, out of that, some of the force is getting absorbed by that wall. Okay, due to the property of that sponge, that cotton and spring, some of the force will get absorbed. Okay, and a little force will be given to you as a reaction. A little force will be given to you as a reaction. So that बघा तुम्ही स्प्रिंगच्या सर्कस मध्ये वगैरे किंवा ते लहान मुलांचे असते ती खेळायची, उड्या मारतात बघा, 10 रुपये दिले की ती जाळी असती लावलेली बाजूला, त्याच्यावरती उड्या मारतात कंटिन्यू. ओके, त्याचा अर्थ काय? So when you jump on that, you are acting some force on that, and in return you are getting some reaction, so that again you are moving up. So to every action there is always equal and opposite reaction. So in the case of sponge and in the case of cotton, the material is not rigid. There is no rigidity. Okay, material is not rigid. That is why you are not getting hurt that much. That is why you are not getting hurt that much. This is the difference in first case, second case. So what I want to tell you from this discussion, that when the force is present, then the reaction is also present. Whenever a force is acting on a body, then reaction is also get generated on the body. Okay, so फोर्स जिथे जिथे फोर्स असणार आहे तिथे तिथे रिएक्शन असणारच, ही गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा. ओके, so the reactive forces offered to the force or the reactive forces offered are known as reactions. The reactive forces offered are known as reactions. Okay, so the reactive forces offered are known as reactions. These reactions can be offered by floor, then walls, then strings, cables, etc. Okay, chain is there, many things are there. String hai na, dori, string. Okay, when you apply the force at one end of the string, you will get the reaction at the other end of the string. Okay, so this is the thing, that whenever you say that a system is in equilibrium, it means that the resultant force on the system is zero, but the whatever forces are acting on the system, those forces are balanced by some reactions. Those forces are balanced by some reactions. That is why when you take actual sum of all, whatever the active forces are acting in one direction, same quantity of reactive forces or same magnitude reactive forces are acting in opposite direction. That is why when you sum up them, you will get the resultant force as zero, and you say that the system is in equilibrium. Okay. And these reactions, and now he reactions kon offered karta? The reactions are offered by the floors. Floors always offers the reaction. तुम्ही जर चालता चालता समजा फरशीवरती पाणी पडलं असलं आणि पाय घसरला तुमचा, तुम्ही पडला तर तुम्हाला लागतंय, बरोबर आहे ना? कशामुळे लागतंय? तुम्ही ज्यावेळेला तुम्ही काय म्हणतात, when you pull back yourself, or when you are off balance and you are about to collapse, then what will happen? From certain height, from some certain distance, your mass is coming towards the floor. So what is your force now? That is your potential energy. It is getting converted into the kinetic energy. That is mgh. That is your highest, whatever the height is there, mgh. That much of energy, with that energy you are coming on the floor. समजतंय? मग तुमचा पाय किती जोरात घसरतोय ह्याच्यावरती तुमचा येण्याचा स्पीड आणि तुम्ही किती हाईट वरनं येताय ह्याच्यावरती तुमच्या अंगाला दुखापत होती, किती लागतंय ते. पण ते लागतंय का लागतंय? तर that floor will give you the resistance to your body. It offers reaction to your body. म्हणून तुम्हाला हर्ट होतं. Okay, that floor is having property. It is a rigid material. It offers reaction. Okay, so floor offers reaction, wall offers reaction, string also offers reaction. दोरी लावून तुम्ही काही ओढू शकता. Cables are also there. Then chains are also there. Rods are also there. Steel rod, aluminum rod, brass rod, any type of rod. Okay, so these many things are there which can provide you the reactive force, the reaction. Okay, so best example for force and reaction is, तुम्हाला जर बघायचं असलं तर जाता जाता सहज असं कोणाला तर मारून बघा, तुम्हाला रिएक्शन काय माहिती, समोरचा माणूस परत तुम्हाला रिटर्न मारणार. आजकाल कोण गांधीजींसारखं ऐकून घेत नाही, बरोबर आहे ना? ओके, so whenever you apply the force, you do something, you will get in return something. So force is nothing but it is doing something. Force is the doing something, and reaction is the thing which you are getting in return. Okay, so that much of the point for the today's lecture I want to tell you in this unit. In the next lecture, we will take the example on this equilibrium by using the equations of equilibrium. Let me know what are the equations of equilibrium. First equation is
Summation of x equals to 0.
summation of x equal to 0. Correct. Second equation.
Summation of y
Summation of y is equal to 0.
Correct. Summation of y equal to 0. Then third equation.
Summation
m is equal to 0.
Correct. So algebraic sum of the moment of all the forces about any point in their plane is 0. That is summation m is equal to 0. So based on these three equations, in tomorrow's lecture, we will take the numerical. Okay. Now I will take your attendance now. Just wait. Okay, today date is 7th January, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just wait, I will log into it. Okay, so today is the 7th. Okay, 7th January. So we have taken at last lecture today. So EM. Is the screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now give the attendance. Those who are absent, I will write their roll numbers over here. And if I write any roll number who is present and by mistake if I write over there, then tell me at that point only. So roll number 1.
Present.
2. Roll number 2 is absent. Okay. 2 is absent. 3.
Present, sir.
3 is present. Okay. 4.
Present, sir.
5.
Present, sir.
6.
Present, sir.
7.
Present, sir.
8.
Present, sir.
9. 9 is absent. Okay. 10.
Present, sir.
11. Roll number 11. Present. 12. Roll number 12. 13.
Present, sir.
14.
Present, sir.
15.
Present, sir.
16.
Present.
17. Roll number 17. 18. Roll number 18. 19. 20.
Present, sir.
21.
Present, sir.
22.
Present, sir.
23.
Present, sir.
24.
Present, sir.
25.
Present.
26.
Present, sir.
27.
Present, sir.
28. 29. Roll number 29.
17 is present.
Okay, 17 is present. 17 is present. Okay. 29 is absent. 30.
Present, sir.
31.
Present, sir.
32. 32. 33.
Present, sir.
Okay, 19 is also present. Okay. So 33 is present. 34.
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36,
Present, sir.
37, 38,
Present, sir.
39,
Present, sir.
40,
Present, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42,
Present, sir.
43,
Yes, sir.
44,
Present, sir.
45,
Present, sir.
46,
Present, sir.
47, 47 is absent, 48, 49,
Present, sir.
50,
Present, sir.
51,
Present, sir.
52,
Present, sir.
53,
Present, sir.
54,
Present, sir.
55,
Present, sir.
56, roll number 56, 57,
Present, sir.
58,
Present, sir.
59,
Present, sir.
60, roll number 60, 61,
Present, sir.
present. Okay. So here on the screen you can see that the roll numbers which are absent. So anybody from these roll numbers are present, let me know. The roll numbers are roll number 2, 9, 18, 29, 47, 48, 56 and 60. So these are the roll numbers who are absent today. So anybody from these roll numbers? 8 students are absent for today's lecture. So your absent is increasing. See, attend the lectures regularly. Otherwise, once you miss the lecture now, it will be very difficult to connect for these subjects, applied mechanics and mathematics. Okay. तुमच्यासाठी परत एकट्यासाठी कोण सगळं रिवाइज शिकवत बसणार नाही ना, मग तुम्हाला नंतर जेव्हा डाऊट आहे तेव्हाच क्लिअर करून घेत बसावं लागेल सगळं, किंवा मग व्हिडिओ लेक्चर्स बघत बसावं लागतील. बट स्टील लाईव्हली टीचिंग अँड इन व्हिडिओ लेक्चर देअर विल बी सम डिफरन्स. असं शिकवताना तुम्ही मला डायरेक्टली विचारू शकताय काय अडलं काय नाही कळलं तर. But in the video lectures, if some doubt is there, then you cannot ask. You have to see that lecture, then you have to write the doubt, then come to me, then ask. So it will take time, no? So ask everybody to attend the lectures. So now we will close over here today. Yes, again and again I am coming across this message. So see, my lectures are the edited lectures. If you see the my lectures and lectures of other subject, voice quality and everything is good in that applied mechanics lecture. So for that purpose, I required time to edit the lecture. See, now this lecture is recorded. It will take me hardly 10 minutes to upload this lecture on the YouTube. Just I have to click the YouTube login and upload this lecture. But what is the use of that? I will always remove unwanted material. I will try to highlight what is the required in that lecture, and then the voice quality and video quality I will enhance. So for that purpose now 1 day is required. So I will drop the lecture 1 or 2 days here and there, but you will surely get the lectures. Okay, so don't worry about that. मागचे सगळे आलेले आहेत ना तसे हे पण येतील, just 1 or 2 days here and there, but definitely I will upload the lectures. Okay.
Sir, MCQ मिळाले. MCQ.
MCQ चं ते चालू आहे, बघतोय मी ते PDF कटरने होतंय का, जरा साईज कमी करून आहे ना तुम्हाला मी MCQ पाठवतो. That is also going. I will send it to you. Still there is much more time for the examination. I will send it to you the MCQ as soon as possible, within 2-3 days. I am doing that, as it is the scanned PDF now, so it is becoming very difficult to edit that PDF. Okay, so we are still trying. So let us say we will find some solution in 2-3 days, and then I will come back to you with the MCQs. But I will give it to you, don't worry. So sir, please, will you conduct your lecture at morning session with fresh mind of students? See, the lectures I am conducting as per the timetable. coming from the first year departments. And also the thing is that, see, you are thinking about only your division, that is applied mechanics, as well as I am teaching for the final year civil, BE civil class, BTech civil, and also I am teaching for the MTech students. So in a day, it will become very hectic. Now, suppose now today in the morning, my first year lecture will be there. Then afternoon, I am going to teach to final year. In final session, I am going to teach to MTech students. Likewise, the distribution is there. So, कधी तुमचं वरील कधी खालील असा आहे. Still, I will talk to your CC that something can be done in this regard. I will see in that. Okay. Instead of the last lecture. So today, because of some meeting and audit is there in our college. Audit was there. So due to that audit, I think on Friday my lecture is second lecture, but I am conducting the last lecture because in the morning I was busy in the meeting with that auditor and audit is going on. Okay. So henceforth, at least I will try to take it in the morning session, but under some unavoidable circumstances, we will take it in the evening. Okay. If the circumstances are unavoidable, if it is possible, surely we will take in the morning session, morning or afternoon. Okay. So thank you. I will close the lecture now. Is there any other doubt? Anybody? काय प्रॉब्लेम अजून? तुम्हाला काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही ना, अडचण नाही ना, समजतं ना शिकवलेलं का काय समजत नाही? हा, शिकवलेलं काही समजतंय का नाही समजत काय?
समजतंय सगळं.
समजतंय सर.
समजतं ना, काय अडचण नाही.
सर थोडं मराठीत सांगा की थोडं.
मराठीत सांगू दे का?
हा थोडं.
ठीक आहे. मग तुम्ही जरा मला सगळं एकदा सांगत जावा ना. व्हेन आय टेल एनिथिंग इन इंग्लिश नाव अँड यू वॉन्ट दॅट थिंग शुड बी टेल इन द मराठी, then at that point only, sir, please tell once again or please repeat it म्हणलं ना, तर मी अजून एकदा इंग्लिश मध्ये सांगेन, मराठीतही सांगेन. ओके. बट ऍट दॅट पॉइंट यू पिन मी दॅट सर वन्स अगेन वी वॉन्ट टू रिपीट इट. मग त्यावेळेला तुमचं तसा मला रिप्लाय आला, देन आय विल टेल यू इन द इंग्लिश ऍज वेल एज इन मराठी ऑल्सो. ओके. बट फॉर सिम्पल कॉन्सेप्ट आय विल नॉट गो टू द मराठी. जिथं तुम्हाला डाऊट वाटतंय तिथं मला सांगा तुम्ही. आय विल रिपीट इट इन मराठी अँड ऍज वेल एज इन इंग्लिश. ओके. एनी अदर डाऊट? पण हे बाकी काय तुम्हाला अडचण नाही ना आता सब्जेक्ट बद्दल? एमसीक्यू वगैरे जे काल मी तुम्हाला दाखवले ते मनातून तुम्हाला आन्सर येत होते ना, सुचत होते ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It means that you are understanding something. Okay, good, very good. ठीक है. So we will meet tomorrow and do the study.